Anka cruised pretty comfortably. Quarterfinal taking out the number 2 seed, Conchita Martinez, the big win there in 3 sets. Anka Huber is a very big hitter off both sides. She's capable of breaking the point open. She's capable of hitting outright winners, but her real goal today is to try to set the point up and not try to go for too much too soon.
There are actually a lot of similarities between the way these two play. A lot. They are both baseline sluggers that make no mistake about one thing. Monica Seles is a very good front runner. And if she can get her nose out front quickly, then this could be a short match. So it's very important, these first few games, for Huber to make an impression on her. She hasn't yet in their history of head-to-head.
Shot there from Seles. These two players have met each other 6 times. Huber has yet to take a set, but there have been some pretty close matches. And in fact, in the 4 tournaments back for Monica, this is their 3rd meeting. They met in Toronto, they met at the U.S. Open, and the score does not do the matches justice. They were very close.
Monica Seles, as I mentioned, is an American citizen, but she has that European way of diminishing her own capabilities and achievements. So she will say, I've had tough matches against her. You check the score, they've not been that difficult. But as you said, of course, the score doesn't always tell the story. That's long. Game point, Seles, first game of the match. Seles is leading this match by 1 game to love. This is live coverage of the women's final. 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on ESPN. That'll be a best-of-5 set match. Boris Becker and Michael Chang. Who will serve better? That is what will decide the outcome, in my opinion, of that match. Join us tomorrow. Live coverage here from Flinders Park in Melbourne, down under in Australia. Huber to serve, trailing 1 game to love.
Huber showed some nerves in taking out to Conchita Martinez in the quarterfinals, and again against Amanda Kutzer in the semis, which is very natural. This is her first Grand Slam final. She's once been to a semifinal Grand Slam. That was on the slow red clay courts at Roland Garros in '93. She cannot afford to get off to a slow start here.
She played in a Carril championship match this year, at the end of last year, rather, and played very well against Graf, 5-setter. So she's been in big matches, Betsy.
I think that match gave her an awful lot of confidence.
This is Anka Huber's first Grand Slam final. Monica Seles has been in 10. You can see Steffi Graf has been in 13. Navratilova in 14. That's consecutive finals. The last one that Martina was in was Wimbledon, losing to Conchita Martinez in 94. Game point, Huber.
Game Huber.
1 game all, first set. Now, to tell it like it is, neither one moves that well. But when they get to the ball, that is when the trouble starts for their opponents. There are a lot of similarities, as I said, and so much, again, in this match depends on serve effectiveness. Monica Seles has had some shoulder problems during the last fortnight. We had a chance to ask Monica Seles about playing against Anke Huber today in the final.
I played Anke the most probably since my comeback, and we had very tough, close matches, and I was down in a lot of those matches, and I've watched Anke play. She's in great form. She beat Conchita and Amanda, so she's playing some great tennis.
15 all in this game.
Monica always very gracious to her opponents.
Has she ever said anything bad about anybody?
It's funny, the scores all indicate that the matches were very one-sided, although back in 92 when they met here, the first set was very close. It was 7-5. But it was after that match that Seles had a lot of very praiseworthy words for her opponent today, Anke Huber, who does hit the ball with extreme pace off both sides. The problem is that so does Monica Seles, and she does it more consistently than anyone out there. I really believe she still has not found that rhythm with her ground strokes that she certainly had before they forced absence.
Well, that's bad news for the opposition if that's true, Betsy, because she has dominated. She dominated the Canadian, which was her first tournament back. And then she got to the final of the U.S. Open without much trouble. Winner from Huber, 30 all. I mean, listen to these scores. For example, Canadian Open, love and 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 1 and love and 1, and then U.S. Open, 3 and 1, 2 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 4, 6 and 2, 2 and 2 until Graf. I mean, she just dominated everybody.
And the thing about Toronto was that all the top players were there. Steffi Graf was there. She went out, lost only her second match of the entire year to Amanda Kutzer. Mary Pierce was there. Novotna was there. Sanchez Vicario was there.
Monica holds on. It is 2-1 in the first set. Live coverage of the final. She won 15 straight points. It was 6-7, 6-1, and then 7-5 to Seles. Now back live. It's 2-1 Seles leading. Love 15 in this game.
One of the patterns that's developing in this match is the fact that Huber is not giving Seles a lot of angle. She knows that if you give angle to Seles, she can create an even better one. She's trying to keep the ball down the middle, waiting for an opportunity to open up the court.
Chanda Rubin was big news at this championship. Her win over Sanchez Vicario, 16-14 in the third. Super point.
Well, that's the consistency, the accuracy, and the pace that we always refer to the Seles ground strokes. Huber doing a good job of staying in this point, trying not to give the angle to Seles, who can still find it.
15-30. Remember, if Seles can get ahead early, this could be a short match. 15-30, big point.
Big shot there. That's the two-handed backhand from Huber that she absolutely loves. She can definitely create winners with this backhand. She loves the down the line, and if she's got some court to hit into, she'll make good use of it. Chanda Rubin, if she had the tournament of her life, she had beaten the 6th seed Sabatini. Then she takes out the 3rd seed Sanchez Becerra in the longest match ever played here at the Australian Open, and came within a hair's breadth of taking out Monica Seles.
3 hours, 33 minutes. That says wide. Deuce. It was a great championship for her, and it wasn't one of those fluke things either. As you mentioned, it was 3 great matches that she had, and she is for real.
And she is. She is now a top 10 tennis player. She moved to number 10.
Afraid that Huber may come out here nervously and playing tightly, but she has not. She's hitting very freely, very hard, and hitting the ball well. Look at this.
She really is. Look how far back behind the baseline she's pushed Seles, and that's not a good position where Monica wants to be.
Game point, Huber.
Second game point for Huber.
Huber holds on. 2 games all.
There is Zoltan Zaharsky there in the hat in the front row. He is the coach of Anke Huber. They hooked up just a few days before Wimbledon, and they have really hit it off. Their relationship is very good. He's been very good for Huber. He's given her a lot of confidence. And I think that match that you mentioned, Cliff, the championships at the end of the year, where Anke Huber, who had only once in 10 matches taken a set from Graf, pushed her to 5 sets, and that made her believe in her abilities again.
When she's playing Agassi Courier style tennis now, she's not backing up, and that is a key for her today against Seles.
No, I mean, she's played Monica 6 times. She knows that she is capable of staying in points, and she's got herself a strategy out here today. She does not want to get into a hitting match. She wants to try to set the point up.
The Rebound A surface is a very fair, softer, hard court. But speed-wise, it does not necessarily favor either the big serve and volley player or the defensive style player of, say, a Michael Chang. So tomorrow's Chang Becker will be very interesting. Love 30.
Huber's doing a good job of trying to control the serve of Seles. It's a known fact that Monica's got a very sore shoulder, and her serve speed has dramatically dropped off. I mean, earlier in the tournament, she was serving around 103 and consistently between 98 and 100 miles per hour. That's dropped off. I thought she had an ace there. She's throwing them in around 85 miles per hour at the moment, 88.
I mean, you've been talking quite a bit to her, and we'll ask you afterwards exactly what happened to her shoulder. She is down. A breaker serve, 3-2. Anke Huber leading, one of Australia's most famous athletes. Super Bowl weekend. The Steelers fans here in Australia, they should be holding that flag the other way around, by the way. U.S. flag. Anke Huber is up 3-2 and serving first set. Love 15. Now can she consolidate that break?
Seles has always been the game's greatest returner. She can...
And comeback artist.
Yes, that's true. Becoming that in a big fashion. Big shot from Huber there. And, I mean, Anke's doing a very good job of waiting for her moment to try to break the point open. You can see she's not giving Seles a lot of angle, so she's staying in it, and then she's not at all afraid to move forward here, catch the ball early, and find the open court.
Just for the record, Monica Seles was the #1 player in the world, and then on April 30th, 1993, in Hamburg, during a match, she was stabbed in the back by a wild German maniac, and she has been out since. She made her comeback at the Canadian in the summer of last year, tournament that she won. She's lost one match since then. That is wide, 30 all. And didn't she say after that loss, didn't Steffi Graf say after her win, rather, that she played about as good a match as she's ever played to win it, too?
That's right. So that just gives you a barometer about how very well Monica picked right back up where she left off.
$30 all. She wants a call on the baseline and will not get it, apparently. Leanne White of Australia is in the chair, and she does not overrule that one.
Thank you.
We told Leo Levin, Dr. Leo Levin says the ball was clearly out. And he's down there courtside.
It's the first double from Huber. And there's pressure when you're serving against the Seles return. And Monica, when she came back, she had a much improved serve, stronger. She wanted to make that more of a weapon, and that's one of the reasons she was able to come back and win Toronto so convincingly and show up in the finals of the U.S. Open. In fact, she had a set point in that first set tiebreak against Steffi in the final.
Deuce. Live coverage from Flinders Park down under in Melbourne, Australia. Monica Seles, the co-ranked #1 player in the world and the top seed here in the absence of Steffi Graf, is taking on Anke Huber of Germany, the #8 seed. Huber leading 3-2 with a break. This is game point for Huber at 3-2 first set. Best of 3 set match. Cliff Drysdale, Betsy Nagelson watching alongside you.
Great play there to wrong foot. Huber, I mean, she moves well around the court, Huber does, but I think a very good play against someone who's not the greatest mover is to go back behind them. They don't change directions quite as well.
Yeah, I mean, neither one of them moves like a Sanchez Vicario, for example. Draw shot for a winner. Excellent play.
That is a good play because when you got two players that hit the ball so very hard to one another, they're sort of back, waiting for something hard again, well disguised, and caught Monica by surprise.
And she was inside the baseline, too. That's another key. Game point. Miss-hit. Deuce again.
It's turning into a very important game. That is the coach of Anke Huber, Zoltán Soharsky. He's from Hungary, actually. I've seen Monica and Zoltán actually speaking Hungarian together. He lived in Switzerland for 15 years, and now he's back in Hungary.
Yeah, she was born in Yugoslavia, but they're Hungarian descent.
Mm-hmm.
Just across from the Hungarian border. Which is why there they are. Caroli on the right of your screen, Esther on the left. He's a cartoonist and proud of it. Double fault, and their daughter has a break point to get back even.
It's 2 double faults in this game. That's a costly one for Huber. because Huber is in a much more offensive position. She's the one hugging the baseline. Monica's pushed back behind the baseline. And that's just too much court to cover. Break point saved.
Another break point chance. Seles. If you were in her shoes, this is how it feels.
You sure get a workout. I mean, points against Seles are a real test in your endurance.
And she herself got a workout in the semifinal, though, didn't she? I mean,
Wow.
Chanda Rubin made her work hard. Break point. Terrific stuff. I mean, it's so reminiscent in a way of the way that Agassi and Courier played earlier. They both staying back. They both hitting the ball hard, giving no quarter. Courier won the first 2 sets against Agassi, and then Agassi won the next 3 to make it to the semifinals. But he was very lethargic, and that's being kind yesterday against Michael Chang in the semis. He went down in straights. Big wide serve, and it's game point for Huber.
Super serve there. One of the few where Huber has taken Seles out of the court. She's trying to direct most of her serves either down the tee or at the body of Seles. Again, the strategy being that she doesn't want to give Seles too much angle to work with. I think this is the 6th deuce.
Longest game by a long way in the match so far, and it's going to be a critical one when all is said and done.
And it's proven to be a fact that if opponents can stay with Seles early on, that's when Seles has shown a little bit of vulnerability.
Game point for Huber. It has also been proven that if you don't stay with her early on, you can make an early reservation home.
Well, Seles has had to work very hard already this year. She faced a match point against Lindsay Davenport in the final of Sydney, came back and won that. A couple of points away from going out to Chanda Rubin in the semis here. That's the 7th deuce. Quality match so far. They have both made more unforced errors than winners. Having said that, they have both really forced the pace. Look. Seles when she does get the short ball, you can see that she's really not directing it as close to the lines as I think she was doing at one point. That's a painful unforced error there. Sets it up, works so hard to get herself in a position to consolidate the break of serve that she has.
8th deuce.
It's the 8th unforced forehand error as well for Huber.
That's a smart play from Huber. She's getting 3 or 4 first serves in as well. She's taken a little bit off it, and it's helping her a lot.
Well, we've seen Huber go down the line with some pretty big backhands. That's her 5th backhand winner in this match.
Jane Point. Steered that one for the first time and paid the price. Deuce. That is the 9th deuce.
I'm glad you're counting because I lost track and I'm also out of room.
Out of room. You like Fred, you keep the score in some detail. I like that. I'll just check it out there, find out where we are. Deuce.
Pace for pace, grunt for grunt. I mean, you just lose, I think watching it on the screen here, just how hard both of these players are hitting the ball. And finally, Monica breaks it open with a backhand winner, a forehand winner. That is her only 3rd forehand winner.
Break point.
One other break point a while ago in this game.
You're looking at the sports scores from around the sports world as you watch live coverage here of the Ford Australian Open. We are down under in Melbourne. And it's the first Grand Slam final of the year. Monica Seles has just broken back. And you can, if you're scoring this at home, put a little circle around that game because that will end up being a turning point game in my opinion. It was a crucial game for Huber to win. She went down 3-all first set. Huber is beginning to look to me like she's thinking a little too hard. When she was playing earlier on, she was just banging everything. Now she's trying a few cute shots, and that's dangerous.
Well, it's frustrating. I mean, she's played so very well and made a lot of winners, and she's staying in every point, but it's so hard to maintain that shot for shot against someone as consistent as Seles.
Super. That two-hander down the line, as you pointed out earlier, has been very kind to her. And she hit one clean cross-court winner as well. So she has got Monica guessing on the two-hander. such a scrappy fighter.
Yeah, it's kind of frightening watching Seles play. I mean, this inner resolve that the reservoir is unbelievable. But the thing is, she's so good when she's in remote positions on the court. She can still come up with a fairly offensive shot.
I mean, you've hit a shot that you think is a winner, and it is very discouraging. 30-15. And then having talked about the disguise on Anke Huber's backhand, that's true of both sides on Seles, isn't it? Because nobody else plays like she does. You can't go out with somebody and say, play like Monica Seles so I can figure out where you're going, because she has a unique style. Game point, Seles. Very well played by Huber. Answering a drop shot with a drop shot.
Well, again, the drop shot's a good, smart play, all this hard, heavy hitting, and the drop shot is a terrific change of pace. And but Huber read that one well. One of the many things she has improved, her confidence, her maturity, is also her fitness. She's gotten better shape, and she's faster around the court.
Monica Seles held on, and it